and I'm the regional coordinator for the Fruitful Schools programme, which is managed by Learning Through Landscapes. Fruitful Schools is a 4-year project aimed at establishing community orchards in secondary schools. We're in the midst of an environmental crisis, and a big part of that is down to the fact that we've become so disconnected from the land. Projects like this are vital in reconnecting people with the seasons, reconnecting people with nature.
I only thought there was that one variety of apple, but there's hundreds and hundreds.
The UK has had a very, very rich fruit growing heritage and history. So you can actually eat a different variety of UK grown apple every day for over 6 years. Now we import over 70% of our apples from as far as New Zealand, South Africa, North America. Yet geographically, we're in the perfect position. We have the perfect climate and conditions to be able to grow apples and other top fruit right here. So it really kind of highlights the absurdity of that system really, and gives them a sense of being able to take action themselves, giving them skills for life really, so they'll be able to produce fruit for the rest of their lives.
We went to the Brogdale farm, tried the apples, saw which ones tasted nice.
They got to see what a real working orchard looks like and what actually they could aspire to have here.
Before we went on the trip to the orchard, we had to do some researching on apple trees. Apples, they clean out the air and they get rid of carbon dioxide, so that's going to help the environment.
It's important for them to be outdoors, trying to look at the world around them, and obviously being sort of ecologically friendly and using our own organic produce, which they can see from seed right through to fruit.
About 4 metres.
Use this resource in the grounds to actually bring teaching alive and make it more tangible, so it's not always based in the classroom and it's real life examples that the pupils can relate to. One mistake that people make very often is planting trees too close together. They're going to be competing for light, the branches are going to rub together, and also just as the branches are coming together, the roots are likely going to be coming together and competing for nutrients and water. Looking at how different kind of fruits are produced all around the world and how that's changing with climate change, citizenship, caring. We've got obviously the physical benefits of being outdoors. It's very pupil-led. Pupils have already been involved in designing their spaces, so they're using computer programs to plan and design. And then we've just now been at the point where we're planting out the first trees.
We've been looking at different orchards around the place and different gardens and introducing things from their own cultures. We're going to think about things now to sort of furniture to make the area nicer, so things like bird boxes and benches, and just to make the area feel more than just trees but a really nice place to come.
Students can come outside from science class and do some research about it, because we're going to have frogs, fish in the pond.
Well, it really allows urban children, many of which haven't even left London, to reconnect with the natural world.
It's been a real treat to see a lot of the boys sort of going out, being able to plant things, being able to experience things to do with nature that they simply hadn't engaged with before.
Some of the kids, they like being outside, but they didn't initially really understand what an orchard was. They didn't really know if they'd like it. The change now is that the kids really want to be involved in it. They like working out in the orchard.
And things like that used to get crushed, flowers and shrubs and trees. They don't, because they've nurtured it and put them in the ground, so they're quite careful and keen to look after it.
Sustainability, interdependence, all of those type of things are quite hard to understand, but when they get involved in an orchard project, it makes more sense. It's encouraged us to really think outside the box about how we can use the school and to think about kind of how to make the lesson fun as much as anything.
We'll be sitting in class doing some lessons, listening to teachers, which some of them are a bit boring. And now we're just out here, planting trees. It's more fun.
Well, most schools haven't really got this. Right now they'd probably just be doing normal lessons, but we're outdoors and doing stuff to help the environment and our school really.
often they'll know they can't cope and they'll say, Miss, can we just come out and do some digging? And then it just relieves that tension and they're ready to cope with the next lessons, really.
And time again we have teachers commenting on such and such pupil indoors. They're a real handful. We get them outdoors, they have a spade, they get into some digging, and they really take pride in what they do, and they really enjoy it, and they become a different pupil.
Since joining the project, we've had 2 apple days, so we had a whole range of different things going on within school. Of course, reminding people that we are growing our orchard and that within a year or 2 we will be eating our own apples.
The maths teacher had actually prepared a lesson, and using apples as an example kind of put them into an algebraic problem that he gave to the pupils to solve.
G on its own, and the green apples equals 30p each.
So we actually took a mechanical press in and showed them how fresh juice is created. So one of the options would be for them to actually produce their own school apple juice, which they can then look into selling locally. Very nice and gently.
Keep pushing, Ben.
That's it.
In a couple of years' time, we'll be able to use the apples and make apple juice.
The whole school got involved, and we got people from the local community to come in, and we did all sorts of games, sort of apple bobbing and peeling apples and sculpture.
We're having a contest for the longest apple peel.
One of the aims of the project is actually to engage local communities with the schools.
2 other partner schools, a secondary and primary, who have been in, and we've taken them through what we've done with the project, and actually now we're going to be sharing some of our trees with them and how to go about building their own garden.
It is quite amusing seeing how they react to, but that's how it was done in the olden days, and then them learning it is just really part of the experience. I mean, it makes me feel happy that they now know something more important.
I mean, we're building the orchard for the community to use eventually. So really that might inspire students to just become more aware of what they have around them, and possibly even to pass on messages to their parents, friends, relatives.
People are walking along the path behind you, they'll be able to see our school orchard, and I think it's quite nice.
That there's good relationships built up with, between the students and the rest of the community, because we all have to sort of be in things together.
The idea is to inspire teachers to be able to take their teaching outdoors, to use the space right on their doorstep as a resource. You don't have to travel, to go and visit an orchard if you've got an orchard on your doorstep. And many schools aren't really realising the potential of their grounds as an area that can be used to stimulate and to really bring teaching alive. And so we're putting up resources, teaching resources, lesson plans up on our website to help teachers along the way. And what we really want to encourage is to then inspire other schools to be able to take on an orchard project themselves and plant an orchard in their grounds, as these schools have done.
For other schools that would like to be involved in this sort of initiative, I would say sort of 100% get involved, because it has made a huge difference for us. And that it has inspired us all to take a more active role in really trying to understand nature and really trying to be involved in growing things and taking real pride and real satisfaction in actually from nothing to actually see something growing that is going to be there for years to come.
Or we can have dwarfing rootstocks which will grow no taller than me, which means that even in a very small urban space we can make that space productive and we can grow fruit. So you don't need, areas of grass and really large spaces for planting an orchard. These trees are going to be around for 60 plus years, so they're going to be producing about 50 kilos of fruit per tree on average for many decades to come.
By the time they're done, we'll be probably in university or doing work.
We have to pass the generation on, so the youngsters are going to take over.
What these pupils are really doing is leaving a real legacy behind.